Hi, it's Christina with the Sisyphean Journal. Today's September 9th. I already covered the two anniversaries I have today. They're both criminal abortion deaths. One was performed by a chiropractor who then claimed that the patient died because she had fallen down an elevator shaft. This did not hold water. And the other is the mystery abortion that wound up being painted as an assault, a sexual assault by Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle. And I think the reason they went after Roscoe was to divert attention away from the abortionist who had actually killed Virginia Rapay. So two very interesting stories. Follow the links below. What I'm going to talk about today is a little rabbit trail I wound up on. The American Association of Pro-Life OBGYNs had posted on Facebook, and I really, really recommend, whether you're pro-life or pro-choice or somewhere in the middle, you need to follow the American Association of Pro-Life OBGYNs on Facebook, because they can save the life of you or somebody you love when an pro-abortion doctor is lying to try to talk you out of getting proper medical care because he wants to blame your death on an abortion law. But at any rate, they talked about the contrast between how the American College of Obstetrics and Gynecologists describes the language you should use talking to a patient about abortion versus any other pregnant patient. Well, the American Association of Obstetricians and Gynecologists says that you should never refer to a surgical abortion. That sounds so scary. It's a procedure abortion. And it's like, no, it's always been called a surgical abortion. And I just, went looking for any abortion clinic that made a distinction between what they call medication abortions and surgical abortions. And I found something put out by UCLA Health. Okay? UCLA, not some fly-by-night abortion clinic. This is not Kermit Gosnell. It's UCLA, for love of Pete. This thing is just so full of... Listen to this. They talk about reasons to choose a suction curettage, parentheses, surgical abortion. And then reasons to choose a, did they call it a medication abortion? Would you go away? I don't want to see this thing. They got this little pop-up boxes in my way. Versus reasons to choose a medical abortion, okay? So they're looking at these two abortion methods. So suction curettage, okay? They're using the term suction curettage abortion, saying that a doctor uses suction to empty your uterus. Notice that they do not address the fact that there is a living human being in the uterus. Gentle suction is used to remove the pregnancy. Pregnancy is a state. It is not an item. It's not an object. It's an abstract noun, not a concrete noun, okay? Abstract nouns are things like freedom, puberty, heroism, things like that, whereas concrete are things that you can actually hold in your hands or touch, like infant, ocean. So, no, pregnancy is an abstract noun. It is a state of being. There's a fetus. How effective is the method? And they say 98% of suction curettage abortions are successful, okay? Suction curettage. But then they say, how far along in pregnancy can I use this method? At our facility, this is available from 5 weeks to 23 weeks and 6 days since the first day of your last period. They are conveying the idea that you can do a suction curettage abortion. You just gently suction out the pregnancy at 1 day short of 24 weeks of pregnancy. Okay? Picture a preemie. Okay? Picture a little preemie about this big. They're saying they can stick this little suction tube in as thick as my finger and suck that baby out gently. Seriously, this is UCLA trying to make women think that you can do a gentle suction abortion at 23 weeks and 6 days. So it's just astonishing the degree to which, they do, where else? Is there anything else? Yeah. So the risks, again, suction curettage. They don't mention the methods that get used, okay? they do what's called a D&E abortion, generally after about 12 weeks. And a D&E abortion is not gentle suction to remove the pregnancy. It is reaching in with forceps. Sofer forceps, Hearn forceps, forceps that have some teeth to them. Okay, they are so that when they grab hold of the baby's arm or leg, you know how a snake's teeth point inward to help so that when it bites the mouse, the mouse can't slide out backwards. Have you ever seen, when somebody's, say, been bitten by a snake, watch Steve Irwin get bitten, and you can't pull your hand out because the snake's teeth go backwards like that? The teeth on those instruments go backwards like that, so that once they've got hold of that arm or leg, no matter how much the baby wriggles, it can't pull its little arm or leg free. And then they twist and they pull it off. And then they reach in and they grab another part of the baby and they twist and they pull it off. And that is not the same procedure. The risks are not the same, but they are still saying that what they do through 23 weeks, 6 days is a suction curettage procedure. And then later, generally at about 20 weeks, another thing is the multiple visits to place the laminaria to expand and dilate the cervix. When you're getting to close to 24 weeks, you're probably going to come in twice for just the laminaria swab out. This is going to be a 3-day abortion. So there's the risk of infection because you've got these osmotic dilators. You've got these little seaweed sticks that are sucking up moisture from the vagina into the cervix. Okay? If she has a vaginal infection, that's going straight up into her uterus. That's how Edrika Good ended up dying. They don't mention that, do they? They don't mention that the osmotic dilators can bring infection up into the uterus. And they don't mention when you're reaching in and you're pulling out bony parts, especially when you crush the head, the calvarium, because you've got the whole head. This part, the part that's got the brain case, that's the calvarium. And that's too big to pull out through the cervix in one piece. And I wish I could make every pro-choice person who defends these abortions listen to an argument between Warren Hearn and Mildred Hansen at a National Abortion Federation meeting. Warren, aka Warnie, was saying that when you're going in to remove the head, you should grab what you think is the head, crush it, and watch for what he calls calvarium show. That's this grayish white substance that comes out through the cervix. It's actually the baby's brain. It's the baby's squashed brains coming out through the cervix. And he's saying that way you can be absolutely sure that what you've got hold of is actually the skull and that's what you've crushed and now you can pull it out. And Millie Hansen is saying, no, you want to take your suction first and get in there and suction the brain out to empty the skull. Because of all fetal tissues, brain is the one that's most likely to cause clotting problems if it gets into the mother's bloodstream. And when you're pulling out those pieces of skull, you can be tearing her cervix. Oh, tears of the cervix. That's another complication that this UCLA site doesn't mention. And, I think there's a big difference between gently suctioning out the pregnancy and reaching in with forceps and crushing its little skull so that its brains come oozing out through your cervix. So just how dishonest they are is staggering. And this is UCLA. This is a publicly funded university, highly reputable university, trying to make women think that no matter how far advanced they are into pregnancy, they're just going to gently suction out the contents of the uterus. These people are just so disgusting.